Hello there, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the alleged, that's a big word there, alleged case of Sheikh Uthman ibn Farooq being stabbed in San Diego. Now, this apparently happened many months ago, I think back in March of this year, when supposedly he was confronted by an Islamophobe, someone who was making threatening behavior and threatening gestures towards him. He was in his car. He then proceeded to get out of his car after recording briefly with his phone. He dropped his phone as he was getting out of the car to engage with the Islamophobe. Now, this is all fine, and we have that first part captured on video on his phone, so there definitely was some kind of event that happened between them that we can prove that. However, the allegation is that he was then stabbed by the supposed attacker, the Islamophobe. He was cut somewhere in his abdomen, and this is something that has been taken as a hate crime. This is something that San Diego Police Department are aware of, and this is something that they're taking action on. Now, new revelations have come to light by a journalist who's investigated this matter, who's got into contact with San Diego Police Department, who's gotten in, or at least tried to get into contact with Sheikh Uthman ibn Farooq to comment on this. And let's see what they found. Okay, so let's take a look. This is the Focus on Western Islamicism journalistic site. They've done an article here. It says, "Did a Muslim preacher in San Diego stage a hate crime against himself?" And then we have our favorite Sheikh Uthman here. And it is written by Anaf Kalam, and this was back about a week ago. So, in March 2022, a prominent Muslim preacher, Uthman ibn Farooq, told the world he had been stabbed in downtown San Diego by a man shouting anti-Muslim slurs at him. He recorded the incident as it happened and subsequently posted the video to social media, garnering sympathy from his thousands of Muslim followers and leaving many wondering if they'd be the next victim of an Islamophobic hate crime. Within hours, news of the alleged attack spread far and wide among San Diego. In the UK, the Muslim news organisation Five Pillars offered their sympathies to Uthman and condemnations for the attacker. So it's clear here that this isn't just a small event that didn't pick up any news. It actually went quite mainstream. There were different organizations, different Dawah groups, different Muslim sites that were reporting on this and making the accusation that this is legit. He really was stabbed by someone who was an Islamophobe. It was a hate crime. But new information is coming to light that's going to challenge that narrative. So let's keep reading. The story even made headlines in Muslim news outlets as far as Nigeria and South Africa. Uthman's own video of the incident has, to date, been viewed nearly 500,000 times, and a number of other prominent Muslim YouTubers have covered the incident, including Eddie Dean, whose YouTube channel has more than 500,000 subscribers. Right, so we know immediately there is a lot of clout that's involved in this. There's a lot of YouTube likes and shares and subscribers. There's a lot of reason for this to be beneficial to Uthman as a claim that happened against him, as opposed to something that would negatively harm his reputation. If he's someone who is being, I guess you'd say, hurt in the line of duty, he's gone out there, performed his dawah, and this is somehow him being not a martyr, but at least someone who's prepared to be injured in doing this, then that's a good thing, and it's an interesting story, and it sells lots of likes. It brings more YouTubers to his channel, which is the One Message Foundation channel. So he's got reason to do this. He's got reason to fabricate things like this. I think it goes with the standard Islamic narrative. I think it propagates false information, and it makes him look more likable. It makes him look more sympathetic as a person. Soon after the attack, Uthman stated he filed a report of the attack with San Diego police. After an apparent months-long search, so this has been going on for a month now, Farooq revealed in September that the alleged attacker had finally been caught and arrested. Okay, so the police have someone in custody, or at least was in custody, for this attack. So he hasn't just dropped off the radar. It wasn't some sort of happened once, the guy was never seen again, like when the knife attacker stabbed Hatun. That guy completely went off the radar, apparently. No, this guy was caught and arrested. In the minds of his supporters, the saga, which attracted a significant amount of attention, likely confirmed Uthman's reputation as a tough and confrontational street preacher, known for his verbal face-offs with Christians, Jews, and Hindus, documented in hundreds of videos on his YouTube channel. They could have mentioned the tendency he has for using footnotes, but I think perhaps they forgot about that, because at least that's how I'm aware of his work. So the news of the stabbing was first reported on March 23rd, tweet by the Muslim news outlet 5 Pillars UK. The tweet included a photo Uthman took of himself in his car, blooded by an apparent stab wound on his lower abdomen. The tweet mentioned that Uthman was stabbed at a public dawah stall, and he was targeted because of the frequent public proselytizing of Islam. His supporters were quick to offer sympathies, while others lamented the perceived double standards and hypocrisy of Western media for not reporting on this hate crime. So, real quick here, and I want you just to think about this. He had time when he was stabbed, right? He was stabbed in the abdomen. He has no idea how bad that stab is. He's bleeding quite a lot. It's very visible. I mean, let's have a look at the. I think he has the image up here. Is it going to show me the image? It's going to take me to his Twitter. There we go. Okay, so you can see that looks pretty serious, right? Like if that happened to me, I'd be quite concerned. In fact, I'd be so concerned. The last thing I would think about is, actually, you know what? I'm going to stop, get my phone out, and I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture of all this blood that I'm losing. You know, I've got blood all over my hands. It's going all everywhere. And he thinks it's appropriate. No. I'm not going to rush to the hospital. I'm not going to seek medical treatment. I'm going to take a picture. Now, that to me pretty much gives the game away. I don't think any reasonable person would do that. I don't think anyone who is in the right mind would think that it's appropriate or good to take a picture of themselves, because this isn't like what you do when you're fearing for your life. You don't stop and take pictures. You actually go to hospital, you call for help. And that's going to be something we're going to mention later as well. But let's go back to the article. So where were we? Here we go. So there's just one problem. This is the author speaking. There is little, if any, evidence to indicate that this alleged Islamophobic hate crime against Uthman ever took place. Little to no evidence. Repeated inquiries to the San Diego police indicate that no report about the stabbing was ever filed and that no arrest has been made. So let's look at this here. No report about the stabbing was ever filed. Why? Like, I can understand maybe he was being hyperbolic. Maybe he was exaggerating about how quick the police were to catch him and to arrest him. But no report about the stabbing means there has been no attempt, and this is many months after the event now. There was no attempt by anyone to report this. That means that Uthman didn't report it. None of the people around him or that he talked to subsequent to being stabbed talked about it. Not the people around him at the gas station or wherever, any businesses around, any shops around. No. None of those people were informed. None of them reported it. That smells fishy to me. The next day, Uthman's Islamic non-profit organization, One Message Foundation, posted a video of the encounter that he had taken on his phone on its YouTube channel. So again, this is an entire group of people that could have reported to police. Not a single person working for the One Message Foundation did that. The video shows a white male in a baseball cap and a disposable face mask aggressively approaching Uthman's car and shouting at him. "I've seen your videos, man," he said. "You're a F terrorist, F you, and you're Muslim, F." So I just want to quickly jump in here. Whoever this guy is, I think he's quite clearly not... Well, he's not in the right. He is very much in the blame, in the sense that it does seem like he's actually instigating something. He is trying to get a reaction. So yeah, screw that guy. In the video, Uthman is heard responding, "You think I'm scared of you?" The recording abruptly ends when he drops his phone. Viewers are left to conclude that Uthman subsequently exited his vehicle to physically confront the man shouting at him. The March 24th video ends with a message to Uthman's supporters in which he assures them that he has filed a police report. Okay, so he's told his fans he has filed a police report and that detectives have the attacker's weapon and his face and that he will not get away with it. Okay, so the police must have told him quite clearly that there is no way this guy is gonna get away with this. We know who he is. We have his face. We have the weapon. We have his DNA. This is gold. We've got this. The video also shows bandages on Uthman's lower abdomen, and he tells his viewers that he is totally fine after having been checked out of the emergency room. The very next day, Uthman posted the video. The San Diego Union Tribune reported the attack in a story published under the headline, "Local Muslim Imam says in viral video that he was attacked by a man who called him a terrorist." According to the article, the San Diego Police Department could not provide details, as to when or where the incident occurred, but that the SDPD was aware of the video and had been in touch with Uthman. So this is interesting. So the police openly admit they don't know where this comes from. They don't know. They've got no details about it, but they have been in touch with him. So they have spoke. Lieutenant Adam Sharkey told the San Diego Tribune in a statement that the police department takes reports of hate crimes very seriously, and that anyone with information about this incident is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers, which, funny enough, no one seems to have done. The San Diego chapter of the Council of American Islamic Relations, chair, condemned this apparently bias-motivated attack on Sheikh Uthman and pray for his full recovery. You know what? You have to give them credit. At least they used the word apparently. Because, you know, I agree. Like, apparently that's what it looks like. But, you know, months after the event, we're learning that it was a complete fabrication. Hate rhetoric can quickly turn into a hate crime, causing harm to life and property, the local chair chapter said. We call on members of the public to offer any information about this attack, for city officials to take immediate action to ensure public safety for all minority communities. Okay, that's all great. They could do it for everyone, not just minorities, or even if they include ex-Muslims as a minority. For all the publicity the alleged attack generated, there appears to be no administrative record of Uthman reporting it to the police. And this is the actual copy of the records they have on file. And I quickly scanned through this. I don't see anything related to a stabbing on the supposed date that it happened. Very interesting. No record of the incident exists in the publicly accessible database of hate crimes maintained by the police department. So as we go on to the article, we can see here that they say that after thoroughly reviewing the footage posted by Uthman, the location of the incident can apparently be identified from still frames of the video. And I've seen this. I've actually seen people, they've actually gone to this place because it was right near a gas station. Right, so keep looking. Yeah, the location of the incident appears to be a gas station located at 1606 Market Street in San Diego. A query based on this information was resubmitted to the police department on September 6th, which also turned back inconclusive. Why? I mean, if you know exactly where it happened, then surely the people who witnessed the account at this place would have known. I mean, if you have a car pulled outside a gas station and you're fighting and someone brandishes a knife and stabs someone and someone's bleeding in very sort of white clothing, it's going to be very noticeable to any passers-by. Good afternoon. Thank you for your message. After a diligent search using the location and amended date of March 23rd provided, the San Diego Police Department has no responsive records. So even with this new information, with a location, with a date, still nothing happened. They can't find any records of this because it was never recorded. Sheikh Uthman never made a claim to the police department that he was ever stabbed, despite the fact he said he did. At the very least, he's a liar. But I think worse than that, I think he's a fabricator because I don't think these events ever happened. After the request to SDPD yielded no results, FYI, that's the journalist news organization, reached out to Lieutenant Adam Sharkey, the spokesperson for the police department, who was quoted in the earlier Tribune article, in an email dated September 22nd. Sharkey stated that Uthman had not filed a report to the San Diego Police Department after the incident. And then he shows you the email. Good morning, this gentleman did not file a police report. Thank you. It was very short and brief. But yeah, there's nothing more to say. Sheikh Uthman was not telling the truth. He was fabricating a story completely. He made all of this up. There was never any truth to this. The story he gave was sketchy. It doesn't match common sense. People who are stabbed and in fear of their life don't just randomly start taking pictures. You don't get stabbed and then not call for help from nearby gas stations or from nearby businesses. you also don't fail to make a police report, and you also don't lie to the police about about the police having the knife, the weapon, the suspect, they've been arrested. All that was fake. He was making the whole thing up. And I think that's absolutely just deception on the highest level. We know from other events that Sheikh Uthman has repeatedly lied about certain hadith, certain footnotes on certain hadith. We know that he's made claims about the Uthmanic Quran, saying that he has it when he obviously doesn't. It's just attributed to him, and the very book itself says it's not the Uthmanic Quran. His character, I think, at this point is beyond question. He is someone who's not been sincere. He's not been honest. He's trying to do what a lot of the Dawah guys are doing. They're going for internet fame as opposed to sincerely giving dawah and defending their beliefs. They're prepared to lie for their beliefs at this point, and that's the stage that Islam is at. Fortunately, as Christians, we don't have that problem. We don't lie for our religion. We don't make stuff up. We don't pretend to be stabbed. Instead, we have lions and lionesses who we personally know who go out and do this sort of thing, and they do get attacked, and they do bleed real blood, and they go in hospitals, and they come to Speaker's Corner the week after because they are passionate and convinced they hold the truth. They know they're not lying. Come to Jesus Christ. He's the way, the truth, and the life, and a million times better than anything that Islam could offer you. Have a nice day.